Yo guys, from a jungle perspective, it is how you should pet. You should ask yourself, what kind of gank setup do you get from your teammates? What kind of escapes do the enemy bot laners have in this case scenario? How likely they can go for some heavy trades for potential dives? And so in here we can observe that we have a Lulu, a Phelios, they already got traded quite heavily into. And so the notable thing is they don't have clans, so if I ever W or have to flash W into a trash Q connection, even if Lulu tanks that or Aphelios tanks that Q from trash, they die regardless. So this is quite a bad situation for them to be in, and as we can notably see, Ambessa is not easily pattable into just because she has second wind, D-shield against pokes, and notably also like electrocute threat, so Jace cannot perma poke for free because he gets chunked pretty hard, which also sort of disallows him to continuously basically trade. And so one of the cool things that you can kind of like do is that, you know, gank solo. That's totally fine. We cannot gank bot lane anymore, but we can put 2 points in our Q just to increase our clear speed. So many champions, if you put 2 points in your clear ability like Echo Q, you know, you name it, like, theoretically, like, it could be like Viego again, you put 2 points in your Q to increase your clear. It just depends on the situation if you get any consistent gank angles. On mid lane, not really either, because Kassadin has a very vain gank setup, which is just a slight slow for a second, so that's the problematic part, while also he gets kind of like chunked, pushed in. You know, keep clearing the camps, and we are also looking simultaneously for potential opportunities. And as we know, for now they don't have summoner spells. They also notably, even if you didn't move your camera, sometimes your teammates do ping it. Oops, which button did I press? Which button did I press? That was a mistake on my part. So what we do here, because we spotted that they again go for a heavy trade here, and notably they don't actually have a way of playing around me due to Trash's Lantern, I commit with a W, so without flashing I get a kill, and I also try to chip down the next target. Now it's not a big issue that Lee arrived, because again it's still a bad situation to be in. I queued a little bit away, but shouldn't really touch it at all because they kind of have a freeze. Twitch goes back again, hooks, insane hook from Trash's part, really nice follow up all in. I just hovered this bush in case Lee maybe shows up and catches a Q into Trash and kills him, so just in case. Now I do get double scuttled in here, but that shouldn't be the end of the world. In here I get a little bit confused, because usually I rep start and I walk back to my raptors, but I should then walk back to my Chrome. I think my top laner, you are about to be ganked, but he gets a 1-for-1 kill basically, and does make this Lee run quite a lot. So at least like in that sense, you know, he gets to, I usually misses his E. Hammer for me, well, at least maybe if he tried it would help a little bit, but it would just delay his death. So again we just keep clearing and looking for opportunities. Sadly Kassadin has no damage, little to no gank setup, defensive items, mainly mana management, so he doesn't have much of a poke threat, he doesn't have much of a gank setup, so mid is kind of a avoidable lane. Again, just keep clearing, using our abilities, maximizing out our DPS as much as possible. Although my clear is still a little bit faulty on Pantheon, which I could definitely improve on. And so, okay, like we cleared this whole shit, okay. Camps cleared, really nice execution on Q. We are looking mid lane, but this is not really a situation that we can comprehend. If we gank, likely this guy could also possibly just die. So again, this could go batshit wrong, especially if Lee hovers, or Lulu could be here because she's missing. So what I notably do is that I ping that I'm coming soon, but I'm also pinging this, and it's ideal to type I'm coming soon after Krugs, so they don't go too deep. It's like if you're pinging, make sure to ping either exactly when you're about to arrive, or just say after Krugs or I'm coming soon, so they don't insta commit or something. And so the notable thing is that in here again, similar logic, Trash is here and I'm trying to intercept, but sadly he lanterns himself. Now he lanterned himself to shield himself, but if he lanterned me, I think they're still kind of sumless. They have a barrier heal actually, but I think potentially we could then kill this Aphelios, you know, potentially. But like this is not really possible because he kinda lanterned himself, which was a bit of a bummer, because if I arrive faster I stun him and he can't really kill him so easily, because that lantern 72 shield is not really life-saving. but it shouldn't really be the end of the world. And so what Thresh does, they don't have vision here because we control warded, and they assumed that Thresh recalled or something or hugs the tower just because he was low on HP. And so what we do, we together punish the fact that Lulu, I see like Lulu's perspective, right? So Lulu did not see the Thresh at all, just to see from Lulu's perspective. You know, they thought that Thresh may be recalled. He went to vision, he recalled, or something. And so in here we can see no wards yet, because Lulu never walked into this area, as if now. And as we can see, yes, she does spot me, but exactly when she does get hooked. So again, like if in this situation you can walk up, even though you reveal yourself, because it's for a very split seconds you reveal yourself. It shouldn't be a bad thing, but in here we do a bit of a mistake, because they do have heal. I overcommit a little bit. They get sadly a Thresh kill, and I tried to sort of salvage it, but I really didn't calculate in the Galio, which was my bad. Usually I don't prefer hard scalers like Kassadin, because you never have prio, and you know, it kinda sucks to have Kassadin mid, but eventually if they at least scale, it does give you some opportunities in here. Nothing really happens, we just CS and we look for potential opportunities, for our opportunities, invade opportunities, but sadly even so that gets cutted off, and I'm trying to save him. I will ping my W so he doesn't lose his mind, and I ping it again so he can see that my shit was on cooldown. It's kinda nice to do that, so at least like again they're not trying to blame shift or just unfocus themselves from the gameplay. Now sadly this was again likely warded on the enemy side. Lee is around and I have to R out, so we're giving out extra resources. We are out so we don't, you know, die. And so actually this guy just spammed my R. I think I had him muted or something. No, I think maybe I had him muted from the beginning of the... Yeah, I think... Alright, and sadly in here we get Ambessa Invader. So as we can see, like we can go for some good plays, and we're queuing the bush as well, because she could hover potentially with the enemy jungle. So we queue it and we walk for wolves, because they could potentially be here instead of doing grubs. Now they're doing grubs, which is perfect for me, but you know, always note, use some extra cautions. You can get everything, that's totally fine. Giving up is a skill, definitely, and dropping your ego in some cases is definitely helpful, because you're really risking your life for a Grom. So you gotta also like look at the situation, like okay, I'm risking my life for a Grom, really? I don't have flash, I don't have aura, I can get out if they collapse on me, you know? Really, for a Grom? And then you gotta say, yeah, no, really, it's not worth. Gotta analyze the situation before you even go for a potential flip play. Again, sadly we don't have aura, so we can't really gank bot lane. Twitch is one of our win conditions. He gets countered to somewhat of an extent, but at least they only have like an Ambessa art that could like instantly engage into him, which possibly could be sidestepped, you know, possibly. He has a lantern from Thresh though, so if she doesn't get too fed, it's not, you know, sort of the end of the world, because that's their only like form of hard engage. And now in here, I shouldn't get Oracle already, so that's a mistake on my part. But Lulu doesn't have control over this area of the map, so most likely she couldn't ward. And again, don't walk into this bush, this is a bit illegal. One ward expired just right now, but the notable thing is that because it expired, usually they don't double ward it, of course, at least not in higher ranks. In lower ranks they may do it though. And so now I can walk into, this is just a visual bug by the way, that's our ward I think. And I intentionally didn't hit the plant because that could also potentially reveal me. Okay, we look at our side, and now again, like we are just looking for a gank angle. If he connects his hook, that's fine, so it means we can look for something, right? Sadly in here I get polymorph, not even Twitch, and I'm looking for a Q. Now if I connect this Q I may kill, but sadly they barrier or and all that, and so this is a bit of a unfortunate situation, but I do stun him, we get somewhat of a trade. Hopefully Twitch does also disengage, does flash out. And we are out, and they burn plenty of things. A Galio TP or barrier. Oh my god, so many things. Even though it looks like we, I mean, sadly Thresh was a bit cocky here, but yeah. And Galio does R in there, but doesn't get too much of a value. Sadly, he didn't get the kill either, so I'm just really trying to zone Galio off before he connects a Q or something. So I'm trying to poke and bait out maybe Galio, but he's not really looking for a knee. I could eat them, maybe stun them after and leave. But again, like you also got to still like play proactively, even throw some downsides happen. mute all of those flamers and whatnot, concentrate on your own game, because you're still gonna have comeback opportunities easily with your R. You can go for picks, you can punish if they are with your W, if they're trying really hard to overplay, you can maybe bait them with your E potentially. So there are actually like some comeback opportunities that you could look for, and don't stop, don't stop looking for those, because this type of games are 10 to 10. Like, we are not necessarily in a bad spot. We have some scalers. In fact, many of us just scale. Many of us just scale actually compared to them. They have a Felios, Ambessa does scale, the rest of them are a bit whatever. Galio would normally scale, but he goes for the dog shit like wave clear build, so that doesn't really tends to scale, and we overall have multiple scalers. And in here again, I look for an R, but I think it could be potentially warded. I still get my R damage off, and I don't steal it because I'm like, maybe this I had to steal it when Lee arrived, but I was like, maybe this selling on a mental boom or something, so I had to play around their mental as well, I ain't gonna lie. Troy wasn't flaming or anything, and I missed my flash spear, but at least I connected my E, so I didn't get all in. But y'all know how Kassadin players are. So there's a bunch of crybabies. In here Lee invades, I connect the W into a nice Q. And so what happens, Thresh does show up, he does Lantern, and he dies, Actually, no, I tried to basic, but it's not enough. So I think maybe mechanically I messed up something here. I'm not sure exactly what. Maybe I didn't Q when he arrived with his Q, actually. So W in a basic, right? I could then maybe go for another basic or something, but I don't know, because Thresh's R doesn't connect. He hooks, but yeah. But I think it will connect after, no? So Kassadin does hit his... Like, I don't know, because... It's a bit of a weird situation, yes. Yeah, I mean... Sadly, yeah, it's 14 HP. As I much to overanalyze, it's just... He got a little bit lucky, Twitch picks him up. And he potentially picks up Galio as well. He does have insane DPS, 2.9 basic attacks per second, and that's insane. Now, they keep chasing, they catch the guy. Kassadin lives, of course, because of his Q shield. Actually, they only have like 1 point in it, but I guess we pass it together, right? It's kinda good. Jace gets some plates, capitalizes some plates as well, meantime. We kinda like move on, and we accept some of the losses, we accept some of the misplays our teammates do, that we do now and then, because the best way of moving on, the best way to concentrate on your self-improvement as well, is to let go, forgive people in some sense, in some way, right, in game, and focus on your own shit, focus on plays you can go for, things that you can control, because if you are too stagnant, oh my god, this team misplayed, oh my god, this team misplayed, oh my god, he can't hit skill shot or whatnot, right? You're gonna be too this was a bit of a flip though, as I much to look at it. So in here I had Thresh Lantern, so bare minimum I can get out, but they didn't have like clear vision. So as a justification, they didn't have clear vision, and I can outsmite lead very easily with my Q, so in here I just Q smite, so that's kind of unsmiteable. W basic, for a bit of a healing. It was a little bit of a flip, but truth to be told, I think mainly Lee arrived in time, and it's a bit risky for them as well to show up, because we have a Thresh and they could be hooked, so there are some downsides of them, sort of. It was a I just say it was kind of a semi-risk-ish type of thing, like I would say there is some risk to it, but it's kind of like, if Galio is not there, then it's, yeah, And Jace is kind of facing that guy, huh? So in here again, we are just CSing, we are kiting it out as much as possible in case maybe Lee and Mesa try something. And so in here, very simple, I'm building Death's Dance because they have 380, some degree of burst here and there, and that just helps insanely a lot. And by the way, if Death's Dance is sticking on you and maybe you got insta-CC'd, whatever, you can E and they will not deal damage to you, like Death's Dance will not deal damage to you, which is just insane, clearing 2 camps at once. And we are looking for an R simultaneously, but they got caught too badly, so in this type of situations, don't try to R in. Pantheon is not that much of a 1v9 champion, I mean, if you step up, you just die. So again, just don't try to do some stupang shit like that. We just clear it as efficiently, as quick as possible. Q again. And again, like we are in here, just looking for an R. But he missed his hook. I think this was warded, and I had like a very weird play, like it was warded and it was pinged. And I showed up on vision constantly, like that shit. I think it was warded around here as well. No wait, not all the enemy team. No, oh shit. Yes, I constantly showed up on this ward actually by accident, because it was even pinged, but I don't know, like I kinda stupanged it. Then he missed his hook and I did R him, but it was a bit of an SR because I perma revealed myself for no reason. And Galio was also alvaring, so that also made me a little bit scared to R him, but it was a bit of a bad R, and you know, if anything, like we got nothing out of it because I think I just like it was here, but I kinda didn't look at it at all, you know, this was a funny thing, I just don't know, I was like, yeah bro, kinda ignored it a little bit. But I do start a Herald in here. Ambessa does get ambushed and you know he gets a Gallior based on his positioning. And so now we see Aphelios and the other guy fighting here, but this is not a very consistent fight unless I arrive. So I've decided if they go this deep, he gave up for Shurelia, I can connect a really nice W into a nice all-in and we can just kill him with my Q. So sometimes it's very wise to actually leave the objective and go for a kill and go back when you have like one number advantage, because Aphelios died obviously. He had also some strong weapons, I think he had red and white. And so if Aphelios is dead, you have your teammates around, then you can finish Herald after. So even so, knowing when to leave an objective, especially if you barely damage its HP, then go mid for a play, it's very smart. But in here again, like teammates weren't really coming in time. I was a little bit concerned about potential dangers. So I was actually a little bit dropping it. I was willing to drop it for a while because I was thinking like maybe Galio can potentially go for a sneaky TP. And I don't have quite my members around. I don't have quite. I could recall as well on this much amount of gold. So again, same situation. Sometimes you just got to drop your ego. Yes, you started it. Some people may be gonna frame you for starting and leaving it. I don't care. Like if you can fix a problem, you better be, because you can know how much armor I can get now. You know. Like if you can fix a problem, even though like obviously you could go for a better decision, you can learn out of it and you can use that better decision taking in your next game, so don't forget about them, maybe write notes down for yourself. Then you can use that knowledge more productively instead of just you know, impractically criticizing yourself, right? You got to be practical with your critiques as well. You can have like you can have some so-called constructive criticism. That's how people like to, you know, call it. And here again, TP happens, Jace is not here. So same thing, we don't fight for no reason, people are getting pinged away. I walk away, I would rather do my camp instead of that shit. Because again, we are one level down. I could have smite this a bit earlier and queue it, but that's a little micro play. I have to actually kinda improve on clearing, guys, I'm not even kidding. Still kinda new to the jungle role. Actually not really new because I played it in the past, but it's kind of like first second time, but it's not really first second time because I was Grandmaster before in jungle, so it's a bit weird, right? Let's just say it's a bit rusty. And so again, like a W into very easy Q connection from Trash. We forced a little bit too hard though in my opinion, but look at the positives that we pick up a Aphelios skill and Jace does arrive. So we do get some nice kills, which definitely spaced well there. And so what I do, I arc here, assuming Lulu walks. I think she was revealed. Oh fuck. Yeah, that's what I misplayed as well. I thought she will go this way, but I think she was also revealed, no? I think she wasn't revealed when I ordered. I'm not sure when did she get revealed. So no, I already pressed her. No, she got revealed only now. So it wasn't the case. Mi? Jó. And so in here, let's continue watching our video. We clear out this Drake. Fuck happens. You know, fail. Try hard, fail better, right? Because some things you're just gonna learn. Like if you're doing something, you're gonna do some mistakes as well. So again, I'm just also trying to give you guys some courage to be this, like some courage to self-improve yourself in some way. Now, what the hell do we do here? I think I'm just clearing this red out and also trying to sort of kite it. I think I should bang at Oracle actually way fucking earlier on. I stick to wards because I kinda like wards, I'm not kidding. Because like you can go Oracle for ganks and whatnot, I think that's fine. But so there are ups and downs for both. Some people say you always need Oracle on jungle, um, and no arguments obviously for wards. But sometimes I literally feel like my teammates are likely to be caught by these people. So wards help your team to some sense to scale if you got a scaling comp, because I have a scaling comp, because it does actually help to like set up vision for them as well, not only for yourself, so they're less likely to get collapsed on. And Oracle is often good for more aggressive moves, but I think perma going for Oracle is not very practical, in my opinion. Because just having vision over something is just very good, to see where Galio is, if you can Orin and whatnot. Like, I think in this game it's just generally, like, we already have two Oracles as well. Some games you can get some controls for objectives and whatnot, but I think it's not always the best idea, It's not always the best in my opinion. I think that's like the feeling I kind of like based my shit on, and I have plenty of gold on me, but it does look like they could perhaps flip this, and I don't have R to R it, so I'm just still sticking around before recalling. They fish for a play, but there's not really a lot to do here, right? Because even if you try to commit, it could be intercepted, and because Ambessa is a bit mispositioning, she's getting got here, but sadly she does have too many dashes, so we can't catch up. But what we can do is just to steal the enemy blue. Really nice, just generally like a really nice way of like denying value from them. And I tried to commit here, but this is bugged, but we anyways wouldn't kill him sadly because he's too tanky. That was a bit of weird. I never seen that interaction. I don't think so. Galio is unCCable after his R. I don't think so. That's a thing. But I tried to R in maybe if they overcommit or something. But it did look like it's just a slaughter. Sadly, he gets polymorphed all in. But now I do step up. Instead of going for the free kill, Ambessa's already dead. You wanna go for the kill that's not so free. I use my E, Smite, W. Trash connects his hook, save. Oh fuck, I messed up a bit my Q. But the important thing is that Trash connects his hook. Save and throw, she cancelled me. I told Jace, we need your help, big man. Trash is not enough. Let's do it before Lee Sin even arrives. So best if best, we just commit for this. And just absolutely like annihilate this shit before Lee Sin arrives. This is their perspective. I think Lee Sin was waiting for an item, but regardless, didn't really have proper time to catch up. Move back. Oops, it's booting. Oops. Interface visibility. Okay. What's next? So I'm sort of trying to hover Twitch. That's why I'm insta-kill. No, actually, I was just. No, but even if I hover him, I think it's just that. No, I was going for my camps, then I was like, I'm gonna walk up. But this Twitch is insanely fat with fucking attack. Like, actually, I kinda. It was this fat, but I didn't expect him to do this much. So, if anything, I could definitely hover him, and it could be potentially a nicer end. Likely would die, but potentially not, And then Jay decides to bomba himself anyways. It was a bit funny, sadly there wasn't a camp, so he dies as well. There's not much to hook in Ambessa because she's just gonna kill you. So again, not the end of the world scenario. Again, mute these perma pingers, mute this type of people, because they're just gonna take your concentration away, and there's no productive conversation you can get out of that. So trust me on this one, there is no reason to hold into. Okay, life goes on, and now we have DD. Really nice item. 30% of the damage taken to is dealt over 3 seconds. A little bit of healing. Ignore pain gets cleansed off, The percentage damage you take, your E can also soak its damage if you get CC'd and bursted, so you can use it wisely. Gives nice cooldown, AD, everything, Everything is just insane about it, right? Everything is just insane about it. And the great thing is that they based Galio's R on a bluff engage where we don't fully commit. Then what we do is that I disengage a little bit because I'm caught in a bit of a... I think I was too scared, honestly. I was a little bit too scared and I went for a bit of a insecure R. That was on me. I should then go a little bit more aggressively there, just because I think my team was winning pretty hard, but I got a bit bursted at the beginning and I thought I may die. That's why I wanted to flash out an R back, but it wasn't the case. It actually wasn't really the case. Um, and here Ambessa, Lulu, I think they're trying to mess with Jace, mess with me a bit, but we have outplay capabilities and what is sieging as well. Um, yep, just giving some extra mobility, extra anti-slow, extra room to outplay Ambessa. Kassadin almost got killed. She doesn't have R, luckily. But in here again, similar logic, we just take the wards out. I was trying to greed on the enemy Grum, but I think Lee did show up, so... Was it this situation? I think... No, it wasn't this situation, it was another one similar to this. Alright, but that's totally fine, you know. And, you know, if anything, we move forward a little bit. Twitch gets cut a little bit, and obviously, like, Thresh is the one that kinda like... Like, they get caught, but they're very fat, you know. So we're trying to sort of go for a Baron play, but we get TP'd on by Ambessa. She's very dangerous, so I try to proc her shield, so my teammates can potentially CC. And she does try to order the Twitch because he's a free kill compared to me. I'm not really, because, you know, I have DD and all that. Now I does pick up the other guy. Does pick up the other guy, but as we can see, they have mostly dead timers, and if we rush it with the team. Me? Yo. And if we get the kills, we will be able to pick, if we get Baron, we will be able to easily end. Okay, Baron acquired. Arin, and we slowly end the game. We just end the game. Now that's it for now, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, share your opinion, and see you all in the next one.